Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, July the 9th. We're here to look at the new releases that are published this week. And on Wednesdays, we look at romance and women's fiction. Let's do a check-in. Hi, Elena. Good morning. And how am I doing today? I'm doing good. How are you? Are you getting over your cold? I checked out a book yesterday at the library and got 4 new books. Oh, I love that. And I'm reading How to Survive a Horror Story, and it's a novel book. It got released in 2025. Oh, that's a new release. Sounds like you're liking it. You are getting better? Oh, good. All right, let's jump into a romance. And yes, oh, good. Let me adjust my... Okay. First up, Only Between Us by Ellie K. Wilde, second in the Oakwood Bay series. After a death-defying injury sidelined him for 2 seasons, Brooks Atwood's pro football comeback has hit a major snag. Naughty photos from a post-breakup bender have leaked, and they're killing his chances with the Rebels, his old team, and the only one he wants to play on. As he trains with the hope of being signed before the first kickoff of this season, Brooks' plans to keep a low profile are suddenly upended when his selfie with a fiery fan goes viral, and tabloids mistake them as the football world's newest it couple. Turns out Sienna Pippen is the ex-girlfriend of the face of the league, and she wants nothing more to do with that world after being with her nightmare ex. While she and Brooks are busy blaming each other for the media circus surrounding them, NFL teams are suddenly scrambling to sign a housebroken Brooks. Meanwhile, Sienna realizes that all this buzz could be the Hail Mary her family's struggling business needs. Together, Brooks and Sienna hatch a plan, ignore the will to kill each other, and pretend to be madly in love, at least until Brooks signs with the team. But the longer they pretend, the less fake their romance begins to feel, and Brooks becomes as determined to convince Sienna they're truly meant to be as he is to land a spot on the Rebels roster. Good morning, Mary. Happy Wednesday. Love is in the air. Tra-la, tra-la. Indeed. Sadly, Mary, we don't have any big dresses or shirts coming off. It's a dearth of shirtless men. Relationship Goals by Brittany Kelly. Abigail Hunt's Hollywood dreams could be best described as a slow burn, but she's about to graduate from TV sidekick to dramatic actor when the esteemed director of her breakout role suggests a deep dive for her part by shadowing the head of a struggling pro soccer team. She jumps at the chance to prove she's ready. Getting asked out by notorious grump and gorgeous star player Luke Wolf wasn't in the plan, but suddenly her research is getting a lot more hands-on. The relationship quickly sets social media on fire, and Luke seems determined to prove he's more than his villainous reputation. But just when Abigail is happier than ever, her name in lights and her heart in good hands, the other cleat drops. Luke's been coerced into faking their relationship to improve the team's ticket sales. Furious, Abigail refuses to give Luke the satisfaction of dumping him. She decides to get even, because that's what relationships are based on. Over-the-top dates, treating his games like fashion shows, and befriending the fan club he hates, count her in. It's only a matter of time until she pushes the right buttons. Dude, these are red flags. Run. She just didn't expect him to keep putting up with it or to say, I love you. Now this next one, I laugh at the cover because, yeah, this looks really comfortable for her. Scotch on the Rocks by Elliot Fletcher, second in the McCabe brothers. McCabe brother rulebook, according to Juniper Ross. Don't look at a McCabe brother. Don't talk to a McCabe brother. Don't even think about a McCabe brother. It's pretty tough for June to follow her own rules, considering one brother is in love with her best friend, one is her ex-fiance, and one is super hot, small-town hero Callum McCabe. But when Callum seems to be popping up everywhere, especially when Juniper is at her most vulnerable, it's hard not to imagine just how good breaking a rule might feel. And breaking her shoulder. Look at that. It's so, Mary, she says, say it isn't so. It is so this week. Sitting here eating some Noosa blueberry yogurt. My mom loves that. She eats that as much as possible for breakfast. Tasty, indeed. And that sounds so juvenile. Yes, yes, they do. That's why I think I've aged out. Second Chance, Sunshine Inn by Amy Clipston. Two polar opposites, one cozy inn and one sweet and surprising chance at unlikely love. When Everly Hartnett, a cheerful traveling NICU nurse who can't sit still, inherits half of her godmother's beloved seaside bed and breakfast, because of course she does. She dreams of selling the place to fund the nonprofit she and her godmother always envisioned. But there's one tiny problem. Her new co-owner, rugged, grumpy, and fiercely loyal to the inn, Cade Witherspoon, isn't about to let his peaceful life and his new start be sold off so easily. Everly and Cade are opposites in every way. She's sunshine and laughter, while he's all rough edges and quiet brooding. Their clash of wills over the inn soon has them wondering what on earth Everly's godmother was thinking when she left them both in charge. As Everly gets to know Cade's softer side, and Cade finds himself drawn to Everly's optimism and kindness, their disagreement over the inn becomes something sweeter. But with the arrival of Cade's long-lost brother and the looming threat of a developer sniffing around the property, they'll have to make some hard choices together. Can Everly and Cade let go of their expectations and build something lasting together, or will the Sunshine Inn be the place they both leave behind? That's a pretty cover. End of that row. Sounds Like Trouble, second in Sounds Like a Plan series by Pamela Samuels Young and Dwayne Alexander Smith. Jackson Jones and Mackenzie Mac Cunningham can't agree on anything. After coming close to death on their last case, the two have decided to team up, but they can't even decide on how to furnish their new office. Jackson wants to make a big splash. Mackenzie just wants a desk and some filing cabinets to clean up the mess. Before they can reach a truce on the decor, the two PIs get an offer they have no choice but to accept. Infamous gangster Big Sed and two of his mafia dons want them to track down a package, or else. Things heat up in more ways than one as Jackson and Mac track down the sensitive information for the mobsters, while a police investigator is on their tail. When sparks fly between Mackenzie and Lieutenant Goodlooking, Jackson's jealousy and fiery back and forth with his partner has them flirting with danger in more ways than one. As they race through LA's fanciest neighborhoods in a race against time, Jackson and Mac must stick closer to each other than ever as they dodge bullets, bad guys, and their feelings for each other. Heart of Danger, Ghost Ops, Book 1 by Lisa Marie Rice. Ghost Ops, a secret unit of super elite soldiers betrayed by their commanding officer while on mission. The team is massacred. Only 3 survive, framed and disgraced. En route to a court-martial, they escape and disappear. The brilliant and beautiful Dr. Catherine Young is on mission to find a man who vanished into thin air. The lethally dangerous Tom McEnroe is the leader of the Ghost Ops force, and when Catherine discovers the Haven, their hidden lair, he is alarmed and suspicious. No one should be able to find them. But Catherine has a gift, or perhaps a curse. She can sense emotions by touching, and touching Mac reveals the truth. He is a tough and guarded man, but deeply honorable, and he turns her on like no one has ever has before. McEnroe just doesn't buy that this stunning scientist just found Haven when the entire U.S. military couldn't. She can't possibly be as innocent as she looks. She has to be a threat to his men and to the outlaw community that they protect. She is dangerous in every way he can imagine, but he just can't stay away. Yeah, he looks, yeah, no. Slanting Toward the Sea. And Elena says hello to Mary. Mary says, reminds me of Sasquatch. That intense. Slanting Toward the Sea by Lydia Hilge. Ivana divorced the love of her life, Leho, a decade ago. They met as students at the turn of the millennium when newly democratic Croatia was alive with hope and promise. But the challenges of living in a burgeoning country extinguished Ivana's dreams one after another, and a devastating secret forced her to set him free. Now Leho is remarried and a proud father of two, while Ivana's life has taken a downward turn. In her 30s, she has returned to her childhood home to care for her ailing father. Bewildered by life's disappointments, she finds solace in reconnecting with Leho and is welcomed into his family by his spirited wife, Marina. But when a new man enters Ivana's life, the carefully cultivated dynamic between the three is disrupted, forcing a reckoning for all involved. Such Good People by Amy Blumenfeld. It's 10 p.m. on a Thursday in the spring of her freshman year of college, and April is standing at the back of a crowded Manhattan bar waiting for her friend Rudy to arrive. Their eyes lock the moment he enters the room, and in an instant, lives and legacies are altered forever. Within hours, Rudy is arrested. Within days, April is expelled. Within weeks, he's incarcerated. And within months, she meets Peter, a prodigious young attorney who makes her world recognizable again. Nearly 15 years later, April is happily living in Chicago, married to Peter, a mother of three with a fulfilling career and a standing yoga date with her girlfriends. On the eve of Peter's election for local office, Rudy is up for parole. Headlines explode about April's past, jeopardizing Peter's campaign and everything they hold dear. Suddenly, April is faced with an impossible choice: protecting the life she created, or the person who sacrificed everything to make that life a possibility. I put this here under women's fiction because it wasn't so much anything legal or criminal, crime, etc. It was more, it seemed like the relationships. So, end of that row. The Good Boy by Stella Hayward. On the eve of Jeannie's 30th birthday, her grandmother gives her an unexpected gift: a wish at midnight. Jeannie, forever the family skeptic, laughs it off, and after an evening fending off invasive questions about her non-existent love life, returns home to her empty house and her golden retriever, Rory. Who needs a boyfriend when she has a loyal friend like Rory? As she hugs him and gets ready for bed, she wishes to herself that he were human. At least then their conversations wouldn't be so one-sided. She really should have listened to her grandmother. To her surprise, Rory is now a human with big golden retriever energy, like a goofy, adoring Hemsworth. But he doesn't like being a human. He doesn't like wearing clothes or human manners, and he most definitely can't manage a human job. Jeannie needs to turn him back before it's too late, and enlists her oldest friend and boy next door, Miles, to help. Their quest brings them closer than they've ever been, and maybe, just maybe, her messed up wish is the key to granting her heart's desire after all. Yeah, it's kind of trippy. That's all I'll say about that. The View from Lake Como. Never known how to say her last name. By Adriana Trigiani. Uh, Jess Capodimonte Barata is not living the life of her dreams, not even close. In blue-collar Lake Como, New Jersey, family comes first. Recently divorced from Bobby Bilancia, the perfect husband, Jess moves into her parents' basement to hide and heal. Jess is the overlooked daughter who dutifully takes care of her parents, cooks Sunday dinner, and puts herself last. Despite her role as the family handmaiden, Jess is also a talented draftswoman in the marble business run by her dapper Uncle Louis, who believes she can do anything once she invests in a better wardrobe. When the Capodimonte and Barata families endure an unexpected loss, the shock unearths long-buried secrets that will force Jess to question her loyalty to those she trusted. Fueled by her lost dreams, Jess takes fate into her own hands and escapes to her ancestral home, Carrara, Italy. From the shadows of the majestic marble-capped mountains of Tuscany to the glittering streets of Milan, and on the shores of enchanting Lake Como, the other one, Jess begins to carve a place in this new old world. When she meets Angelo Strazza, a passionate artist who works in gold, she discovers her own skills are priceless. But as Jess uncovers the truth about her family history, it will change the course of her life and those she loves the most forever. In love and work, in heart and soul, Jess will need every tool she has mastered to reinvent her life. Sarah McLean has a new one. These Summer Storms. Alice Storm hasn't been welcome at her family's magnificent private island off the Rhode Island coast in 5 years, not since she was cast out and built her life beyond the Storm name, influence, and untold babyllions. But the shocking death of her larger-than-life father changes everything. Alice plans to keep her head down, pay her final respects, such as they are, and leave the minute the funeral is over. Unfortunately, her father had other plans. The eccentric, manipulative patriarch left his family a final challenge, an inheritance game designed to upend their world. The rules are clear. Spend 1 week on the island, complete their assigned tasks, and receive the inheritance. But a whole week on Storm Island is no easy task for Alice. Every corner of the sprawling old house is bursting with chaos. Her older sister's secret love affair, her brother's unyielding arrogance, her younger sister's constant analysis of the vibes, her mother's cold judgment, and all under the stern, watchful gaze of Jack Dean, her father's intriguing and too handsome. I was thinking, where's the love interest? Second in command. It will be a miracle if Alice manages to escape unscathed. All the Men I've Loved Again by Christine Pride. It's 1999. TLC's No Scrubs is topping the charts. Y2K is looming on everyone's mind, and Cora Bell has arrived at college ready to change her life. She's determined to grow out of the shy, sheltered girl who attended an all-white prep in her all-white suburb. Cora is ready to conquer her fears and find her place in the world and herself. What she's totally unprepared for is Lincoln, with his dark skin, charming southern drawl, and that smile. Because how can you ever prepare yourself for the roller coaster of first love with all its glorious, bewildering contradictions? Just when Cora thinks she's got things figured out, a series of surprises and secrets threaten to upend everything she thought she understood about love and loyalty. In the wake of these developments and a shocking tragedy, a new man enters Cora's life, Aaron, further complicating everything. He's the only one who seems to get her, and the letters she writes to him when the two are separated reveal the truth of their inescapable connection. There's only one problem. How can she fall in love with one man when her heart belongs to another? 20 years later, and Cora's all grown up, or mostly, and has cloaked herself in loneliness like a warm blanket. It's the safest choice. But then an unexpected reconnection and a chance encounter puts her right back where she started. The same two men, the same agonizing decision. Find herself in this position again will test everything Cora thought she knew about fate, love, and most importantly, herself. End of that row. Where You're Planted by Melanie Sweeney. Single mom Tansy Perkins only has room in her life for her daughter and her library. And maybe the next book to add to her collection. There you go. See, that's like. But after a catastrophic hurricane severely damages her library, she's forced to temporarily move her branch into the adjacent county botanic gardens, where Jack Reed, the world's grouchiest gardener who rescued her and her daughter from the flood, happens to be the assistant director. Jack has always preferred plants over people, having built a strong track record of avoiding relationships ever since his divorce 6 years ago. So Tansy and her quirky band of bookish colleagues' encroachment into his carefully kept territory is little more than irksome, especially when it means sharing his already scarce resources. When Jack and Tansy are tasked with working together on the spring festival, they have no choice but to call a truce, and soon their newfound professional partnership gives way to a deep intimacy that they've both been silently craving. But Tansy has lost too much to risk her heart, and Jack has sworn off real love. When an opportunity arises for funding that both the library and the gardens need, will their loyalties lie with the future they've always planned for, or the new spark they found in each other? Hey, you have a daughter. Nowhere after saying, oh, she has a daughter, is she even mentioned again. Totally and completely fine. Yes, yes. That will be our motto for today. This is by Alyssa Sussman. In her small Montana hometown, oh dear, Lauren Parker has assumed a few different roles: teenage hellraiser, sister of superstar Gabe Parker, and most recently, tragically widowed single mother. She's never cared much about labels or what people thought of her, but dealing with her grief over the loss of her husband, Spencer, has slowly revealed that she's adrift in her own life. Then she meets the devilishly handsome actor Ben Walsh on the set of her brother's new movie. They have instant chemistry, and Lauren realizes that it has been far too long since someone has really and truly seen her. Her rebellious spirit spurs her to dive headfirst into her desire, but when a sexy encounter becomes something more, Lauren finds herself balancing old roles and new possibilities. There's still plenty to contend with: small town rumors, the complications of Ben's fame, and her daughter's unpredictable moods. An unexpected fling seems simple at the time, so when did everything with Ben get so complicated? And is there enough room in his life for the woman Lauren wants to be? Alternating between Lauren's past with Spencer and her present with Ben, this book illuminates what it means to find life-changing love and be true to oneself in the process. About being a good mom. Oh, and that's it. That is it for today. So, tomorrow we'll be looking at fantasy and science fiction. Whatever is there. I haven't looked ahead. Don't know. On Friday is Freeform Friday. We'll look at the rest of the cozy mysteries and the crime fiction and thrillers because there were leftovers in both. No sprints tonight. I don't do sprints on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours every Tuesday and Thursday evening and 5 hours on Saturdays. It's going to be hot out there. We're going to cross 100 again today. It's probably going to do that where you are because it's July. So stay cool, stay hydrated, read good books. Elena says, thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Indeed. You have a good day, sweetie. Thank you for being here. And Mary says, I had fun yesterday. I was going to ask. Got about 7 inches done on new Russian spiral piece. Nice. Happy with it. What colors are they? Taught my 2 friends how to do it too. Fun day. What a good teacher. Elena, have a great day. Drink plenty of water. Absolutely. Back at you, baby. And Mary says, thanks and have a great day, everyone. Absolutely. Be safe. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.